doing today?
Nice to see you, Tony.
All right, so let's get right on into this.
All right.
So tell me a little bit about your story now before you met the band.
Okay, well, I'm a musician from Kansas City, Missouri, and it's been a long, itinerant route to get here, but when I did get here, I'm playing drums and piano for the Barstow Prophets, and it uses both of my skills, and I really enjoy doing both. So that's how we got together. Basically, first and foremost on the drums, and then later on the piano. And also, with the new technology, I play horns with the band on the keyboard.
Wow.
So I used to be a French horn player, and so it really works together well.
Right, so you get to do both. All right.
Yeah.
So who were some of your musical influences when you were growing up?
Well, as far as the horn parts on the Barstow Prophets, I would have to say, as I was listening to Chicago Transit Authority, a band that was back in the days, they had incredible horn players. But those horn players were playing the parts of Shorty Rogers, who's from the big band era. Okay. He was known for punching the horn parts back in the days when the horn parts were more legato and easygoing. Well, Shorty Rogers came along and punched the horn parts. He always influenced me that everything should have a punch to it.
So you have a great punch on the horn.
That's what I do.
All right, so tell me how you met Chris and Mike and became part of the band.
Well, it was one day I was at Monte de Oro Winery, no extra charge. So at Monte de Oro, through a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, Robert Lincoln Walker, I'm sitting there at Monte de Oro listening to this band play, and he comes up to me out of the blue and says, "That band needs a drummer." He didn't even know I'm a drummer.
Okay.
And, right, I'm going, well, I'm a drummer. He goes, well, this band needs a drummer.
All right, so how would you describe the Prophets sound now?
Okay, it's a jam band that sounds very much like the Allman Brothers and Leonard Skinner and that kind of a sound, where you're getting a jam band sound, which is really nice because the extended versions of the songs are always a lot of fun to play.
Miles, tell me a little bit about your very first gig with the Barstow Prophets.
Okay, Chris asked me to play a gig at Bailey's Restaurant in Old Town Temecula.
Right.
And they had a great place to set up. It was it was just a wonderful place to set up. So I was looking forward to it, and I showed up, and here's all the band, and I've never really played anything that they're doing. So I just showed up and decided to do it. I'm going, okay, I'm going to play rock and roll drums, because before that, I had played another kind of drum. And when I showed up, I realized that Mike Baccarat was playing guitar. And that's sort of like having the professor watching everything I was doing and being watched. And so I realized that I could do this.
What about the nerves? The nerves didn't get you, did they?
Yes, they did. But for that, Chris always had Budweiser beer available, and that helped out a whole lot.
So what is your role in the band aside from your instrument?
Let's see. I'm a harmonic guru.
Harmonic guru. I will explain that a little bit. What do you mean by harmonic guru? I'm kind of a novice to the band stuff. I really love music, so explain that a little bit.
Everybody in a band has a certain sense of harmony in their mind, and that is what I think. As a drummer, it's very interesting that I do bring that to the Barstow Prophets. Now, when I play the piano, it's another thing entirely. But with the drums and the piano, it's a matter of being a harmonic guru, which is, why does that work? Because the notes have to work together, and it's a constant working out of that.
Now, me and my wife have been out a number of times to see you guys play at a lot of the local wineries here in Temecula. One of the things I noticed about the band, you guys have two drummers. Mm-hmm. What is that about? Can you explain that a little bit to me?
Yeah, in case one of us poops out.
What do you mean by poops out? You mean 12 minutes to play, both of you guys can't make it?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. No matter what, it's always good to have one drummer play just a real solid 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other drummer can play the fills and get all flowery with the way they play the fills. So it allows one drummer to just be real solid with 1, 2, 3, 4, the backbeat, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the other drummer can play the flowery.
What do you mean by fills? Like, I don't understand. So can you explain what you mean by fills?
Okay, so whenever we're playing a 4-bar phrase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, there'll be a fill going into the last 4. And so what happens is there's always da 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 da, right? That type of thing. Da 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 bop, da da bop, da da bop, da da bop. And so that bump will be a cymbal crash at the end of a drum fill, which is, it really has to be done well, or it's annoying as hell.
Yeah, I've actually seen you guys practice on a number of occasions too, where you guys go over things multiple times. You know, you guys are really trying to get it right.
So you heard it, yeah.
I was here on the last practice. I'm the guy that cooked for you.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So it's all a matter of trial and error. No matter what, these great bands that work out here, they're just doing trial and error as they go. Fortunately, they know their material well. That's the key to doing well in this business, is knowing the material well enough to perform it and be loose enough with it where you can improvise and be spontaneous. And so Chris, the leader of the band, has really determined that that's the way we should be, spontaneous and work from that type of thing.
All right. So how is it being on stage with the guys?
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic. You know, Chris always says most people never have this kind of experience, and it's absolutely true. It's wonderful to be in a situation where you've got all the latitude, all the leeway to do whatever you want to do and play it however you want to play it. So that's what's nice about it. And with the guitar players are working together, it really works. And the drums and the two drummers work together. And it gets really good. You know?
I think it shows when you come to the show. Me and my wife have enjoyed it, you know, just to see you guys play and the freedom that you guys have that you speak of now. Yeah. I see it when you guys play.
Yeah, exactly.
Miles, do you ever get nervous when you're in the studio?
I would have to say yes, but then when we get into the process, the nervousness goes away.
So you gotta just ease right on into it.
So I kind of use it to propel me into do what I have to do, because you can't stop, you just have to keep playing.
So on the album, the horn parts, I think you had something to do with creating some of the horn parts. Can you explain that a little bit?
Okay, now I'm an inspired musician. I'm inspired by the muse. And so what I hear, I'll play. And oftentimes it's not exactly what people think they want to hear, but it's my part that I put into it. And then after you step back and listen to it, you go, oh yeah, that makes sense. And as I said, I'm inspired by older horn players that punched everything they did. They didn't play it so it's like soft and blending in. It's more of a punch. My whole approach to doing horns is punching.
Okay. So, Miles, tell me a little bit about Chris.
Chris, the guitar player, the singer, the writer, the author of all this stuff.
That's the man.
The producer. Well, he's a highly energetic guitar player.
And what about Miller?
Michael Miller is a wonderful singer and guitar player. And we always use him for specific songs, like Let's Get It On.
So tell me a little bit about Dennis then.
Dennis, my drummer?
Yes, sir.
Dennis, my drummer. I love my drummer, okay? I've never had the luxury of having a second drummer with me, so that if I poop out, he can go. If he poops out, I can go. The whole thing works really together. It's sort of like the Grateful Dead when they recorded their songs with two drummers. They knew that one of the drummers was going to be a little more into it than the other drummer, but they both worked well together.
Yeah, you guys sound good. What about Ryan?
The harmonica player. He's a very interesting addition to the Barstow Prophets because he hits all the high notes with this harmonica that brings a whole other color into the music because it's such a high pitch. You don't normally hear that with a guitar or a piano.
He's probably, I like the band in total, but I think the harmonica is one of my favorites.
Oh, you like that?
I like the harmonica. Yeah. I love listening to it. I like the sound. So I see Jack McBroom is now playing with the band. Tell me a little bit about Jack.
Jack is both a guitar player and a bass player. Very sensitive player. Has the capacity to blend in with what's going on and to just guide the way through it. Very good bass player.
All right, Miles, it's been great interviewing you.
Thank you, Tony. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
The truth is